things will take place. A position that I disagreed with him in private, and he stuck to his gun, that what was done was the right thing. And as a parent, as a Christian, as a Kenyan, I needed to put the record straight so that the people of Kenya could know that I was not part of that decision, and I disagreed with the action taken by the president to kill young children for raising issues of concern to the country, and going ahead by adding insult to injury by describing them as criminals and treasoners. I had to disassociate myself with a statement by William Ruto and went ahead to confirm that the GenZs were indeed my sons and daughters. And that is why I took that position then.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Excellency, this is going to be just like a follow-up question. And there's somebody who asked, if you are the president in that time, we understand you are not the president. And we know exactly what transpired, what happens, our children getting killed. But if you were the president in that time, would you have done things different?
Definitely, I would have done things differently. In fact, the decision by William Ruto to kill our children and try to justify it is what caused a very big disagreement between me and him. If I was president, I would have done things differently. I would have listened to these children and the issues they were raising, because they are our children, and they were not just speaking from nowhere. There were serious issues in Kenya about the finance bill of 2024. And when your children correct you, you don't kill them. You listen to them. That's what we do. I'm a father of 2 young boys, and anytime they have had an issue with the decisions that I've made, I take it upon myself to listen to them and reason with them and try to persuade them, and they try to persuade me, and somehow we agree. But I would never beat them up, threaten them, or harm them. So if I was president, I would not have ordered the killing of children for raising issues concerning the people of Kenya. I would have taken time to give them an opportunity to listen to them and reason with them, and we come up with an agreement on the way forward.
All right, thank you. Next question. Your Excellency, do you believe in restorative justice? And by asking this, what I'm trying to say is, we are very hopeful that your coalition will take the government in 2027. If this happens, are you going to compensate the families of the Kenyans who were killed by the current government?
Thank you very much. In the United Opposition, we have a committee on restorative justice led by former Speaker and former Attorney General, the Honorable Justin Bidan Muturi, because I believe in restorative justice. The young children who died and their parents deserve justice, and they are entitled to justice. In fact, if I'm elected as President of the Republic of Kenya in 2027, my first action in office will be to set up a judicial commission of inquiry to inquire on the killings that took place on June 25th and the subsequent killings that have taken place since then, the issues of abductions, so that all those people who are responsible for the killings are brought to justice. Number 2, I would initiate a mechanism for the compensation of families of those children who are tortured, those who are killed, and all those who have had problems with the government of President William Ruto. So let me assure the people of Kenya that I'm committed to make sure that the GenZs and their parents do get justice, and all those who took part in abductions, in extrajudicial killings, in torture, in burning people's businesses, in disrupting meetings will be brought to justice. In fact, let me put our police officers on notice. All those officers who are being misused by William Ruto to break the law and disrupt public meetings, shoot leaders, beat up people, they'll have to answer. And I have asked our teams to keep a record of all these actions that are unlawful, that are being perpetuated by the police, so that these people will be held to account. I want to ask families of GenZs who are killed, who disappeared, to make sure they document all the circumstances under which their children disappeared, under which police station, so that the commanders of those stations then will be held to account. And let me tell officers commanding police stations, officers commanding police divisions, all the atrocities against the people of Kenya that are being committed within your jurisdiction, you will have to answer it one day. If you see what has happened in Kenya, there was the issue of aglo-leasing that took place in the year 2003. The courts have decided, so many years later, almost 22 years later, that those people will have to face justice. So all those police officers in the DCI, in the National Intelligence Service, in the National Police Service, officers in the Ministry of Interior, who are committing crimes against the people of Kenya, when we form government in 2027, you will have to answer for those crimes of commission and omission, because that is the way the law says.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, when the Kenya Kwanza government came into power, during the campaigns, the president used to say that they are not going to weaponize the state organs like the KR, the state agencies. But today we have seen even the police even going for civilians, people who are not even interested in politics. Children, the president himself giving orders, shoot to kill or shoot in the leg. Do you think today, as we stand, do you think the Kenyan government, the Kenya Kwanza government is redeemable today as we stand, Your Excellency?
I am very embarrassed as one of the leaders who are in the forefront in campaigning for William Ruto to be president of Kenya, because he persuaded me and persuaded the rest of Kenyans that under his leadership, the criminal justice system will never be used to manage politics, and it will never be weaponized against opponents. Again, this is one of the greatest deceptions that ever took place in Kenya since independence. William Ruto deceived all of us, and we believed him, that he will never use the criminal justice system to deal with those opposed to him. That is exactly what is happening today. The Kenya Revenue Authority has been weaponized. All those who disagree with William Ruto are being harassed by the Kenya Revenue Authority. All those who don't agree with William Ruto are being persecuted by the DCI, by the National Security Intelligence Service. All those who have issues with what is happening in Kenya are being persecuted day and night. This is very sad, because I, like other Kenyans, were deceived by William Ruto that he will never use the criminal justice system to persecute people. But he is doing it with abundance, with brutal efficiency, and it is very sad. I want to say that this government cannot be redeemed. Where we have reached, there is nothing that can be done. William Ruto was a great mistake for the people of Kenya. It's a mistake all of us have to live with. But as they say, making a mistake is not very bad. What is bad is to repeat that same mistake. The people of Kenya have to deal with this matter. And that is why one term has become a national movement. It is a clarion call in every public sitting, anywhere 2-3 people are meeting, even young children. Everybody is just saying one term, because this government cannot be redeemed. And I'm very excited that yesterday in the Senate, the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee tabled a motion for the American legislative arm to review the status of Kenya as a non-NATO ally because of violation of human rights, because of abductions, extrajudicial killings, using police against civilians, and again working with terrorist organizations in Sudan, in Somalia. And I want to appeal to the people of Kenya living here and working here in the United States to take time to lobby their senators and their congressmen so that they can know exactly what is happening in Kenya, so that when this particular motion comes up for discussion, there is support from the senators here in the United States, because Kenyans here are quite informed as to what is going on back home, and they can get evidence from home on the issues of extrajudicial killings. In fact, it is very sad that President William Ruto had the audacity to publicly issue orders for people to be shot. His Minister for Interior gave a shoot to kill order, which is happening every day. These are some of the things that must find their way on the floor of the Senate here in the United States, so that the American government can be well appraised of what is going on back at home. And we are hoping and we are appealing to the American government, and specifically President Donald Trump, that as he chooses an ambassador for Kenya, because the position is vacant, to consider to give us an ambassador to Kenya of the same caliber and thinking and orientation as Smith Hempstone, who came in to help the people of Kenya when they face similar circumstances of violation of human rights and the erosion of democracy. We'll be very happy if we could get an ambassador the caliber of Smith Hempstone to come to Kenya and help us to restore our democracy and to restore the respect of human rights in our country.
Thank you. Follow-up question.